What's a good vlog?
Men who like to keep their morning routines simple will love these multi-for-him gummies, specially formulated with 12 key nutrients designed to support men's daily nutritional needs. Nature-made multi-for-him gummies help support muscle and bone health. It improves your immune health, and it increases your energy metabolism. With the quality you can trust, nature-made multi-for-him gummies have no artificial flavors, no synthetic dyes, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners, and is gluten-free. Pharmacists around the world have recommended Nature Made to be the #1 vitamin and supplement brand. So when you need something that's going to help you get you through the day, when you need something that's going to increase your energy to help you get you through that workout, to make you perform as an elite athlete at the top of your ability, try Nature Made multi-for-him gummies, because you don't want to stop to the 12th round.
best damn nation. It is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the best damn wrestling podcast. I am your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. First of all, we have the chef of all chefs, Senor Fuego himself, the one and only Chef Showtime. What's happening, Chef?
What's good? What's good? What's good? How you guys doing today?
Oh man, we're blessed to highly favored, Chef, and hungry. We're hungry too, but we're blessed to highly favored, man. Can't count. Oh man. Next, this man doesn't know if he wants to be a villain or a bad guy. He is the green-eyed bandit. On a dark night in a dark alley, he can either save your life or beat you up in front of your girl. He's your mama super wrestler, and he can whoop your daddy ass twice on Sunday. The one and only maniacal dark Mr. Evil himself, Roosevelt.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, people? What's going on, best damn nation? How everybody feeling today?
Oh man, we good, man. I know y'all missed us like play cousins. We back in full effect, Jack. Fellas, we gotta talk some wrestling. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of stuff going on for the last 2 weeks, man. So we got to fill you in, everything from the draft to this spectacular event that they had in Lyon, France, Backlash, man. But first, let me go around the round table and see how the fellas is doing. Chef, what's happening?
Yeah, I'm just living life, just taking care of these kids. Got one going to college soon, and one I can't wait to get out, go to college soon too. Shit.
Living la vida loca. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, we got babies we got to pay for in these streets. Yeah, man. Mr. Everything, Roosevelt. What's happening?
Man, listen, I've been busy. How busy have I been?
Not busy.
Let me show you guys. All right. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see real good? Let's see.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
Let's go. 1.
Oh, snap.
2.
Clink, clink.
3.
You see it.
Hold on, some of that on. Let's see. 4.
Uh-huh.
5.
5 of them things.
Oh, but wait, there's more. I pity the fool. Feeling like Mr. T around here. 6 of them bad boys. 6
Oh, man.
Man, I'm dripping in all kinds of gold over here, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Everything became Mr. Taking everybody's title. Woo!
Yeah. Mr. Gold Belt. You know what I'm saying?
Pity the fool, get a ring with me.
Pity the fool. Yeah, you need to wear them around your neck like chains, Jack. Oh man, give everybody a breakdown of all that gold that you got, man, and each championship that you hold.
All right, so we'll start with this one right here on this side. This is the SOAR Heavyweight Championship. All right, down in Dallas, Texas, run by Sir Mo, WWF legend from the Tag Team Men on a Mission. And then I have right here the AIWF World Shoot Fighting Championship. Yeah, I just won this on Friday. AIWF.
Congratulations.
Let's see. Right here, I have the NICW Heavyweight Championship out of West Virginia. All right, take that bad boy right there.
Then I have the Gouge Junior Heavyweight Championship right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to Grog and the boys. I have the brand new USA Main Event Heavyweight Championship. It replaced this one. This is the old one. The promoter said, "Hey man, I got a new belt, and I'm going to present you with the new belt." So I got it, and I said, "All right, well, I'm gonna mail you this one back." He said, "No, keep that. You're gonna be the very last guy that holds that title." So now I own the USA Main Event Championship, and the reason why I bought today, one, to show you guys that I have this, and two, and I'm gonna let this represent the other championships that I have to show that I actually have 6, but I currently don't have it in my possession because the promoter keeps it with him. But it's the SEC Heavyweight Championship. So I am a 6-time or 6 accumulated champion, and I got a feeling that there's more to come. My son wants me to win 10. Bro, do you know how it would hard it would be to go through customs and TSA with 10?
Yeah.
Take all these to the UK in July, taking it to Germany in June, to Puerto Rico at some point, and whenever Sermo is ready for us to go. That's a lot of weight, bro.
Bro, you might just have to take a picture of all of them together and carry that picture.
Thanks, Gavin. I got it on my phone.
Going through TSA, they're gonna get your ass. They were like, "Sir, you can't take none of this on the plane."
You make the plane too heavy with all those belts. I'm like, what do we do? Every time I go somewhere, they give me the belt. What do we do?
There you go. Bobby 6 belts in this bitch. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna have to be your nickname. Bobby 6 belts. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well,
so just to let you guys know, Jessica Lashley came up in the world. Okay, Showtime. Right?
Don't do it, because you know her name like Beetlejuice. Every time you say her name, I got to pull this shit out. Can't do it. You can't do it. And, yeah.
You know what's funny though? Jessica didn't make the draft. You know, she
did. Jessica did not make the draft, Jack. She did not make the draft. We're gonna talk about it.
Just because they didn't announce her name does not mean that she did not make the draft. Okay.
I heard she was on the list of being released. You know.
Oh man. Well, speaking of releases, Chef, we're gonna go ahead and get into that thing, man, because WWE actually released some more people. Most notable, Drew Gulak, and they were saying that, you know, around the Drew Gulak thing, there was some stipulations that Drew Gulak had an inappropriate interaction with Ronda Rousey, in which Drew Gulak kind of, you know, shunned them. It's like, hey, I just accidentally touched the loop of her pants by accident, and she's taking it a different route. And a lot of fans were speculating that Drew Gulak got released because of the Ronda Rousey allegations. And at Backlash, Triple H was actually asked this question by one of the media people, and he quickly denounced that, and he was just like, hey, Drew Gulak just his contract ran out, and we just chose not to renew it. So that was kind of the whole thing behind that. But I was sad to see Drew Gulak go. He was part of the No Catch crew and NXT, and I thought they had something going really good, man. I love to see Drew Gulak, but I'm pretty sure Drew Gulak will be okay because he does a lot of training. He still wrestles, and I think an independent schedule would definitely be fitting of him, even though he's leaving a bigger promotion in WWE. But we wish Drew Gulak the best of luck, man, in all of his endeavors. Also, a long laundry list of NXT people were released, and one of the most notable was Gable Stevenson, man. Gable Stevenson, they were putting all this promotion behind him and promoting him on Monday Night Raw and saying he's going to be the next big thing. They trying to push him out like he was the second coming of Kurt Angle. And then we just saw reports that they released him. And so I know that the first match that we saw him in NXT, I believe it was against Baron Corbin. He stunk up the joint real bad. I mean, it was funky. I don't think that they liked his work. I'm not sure how good he is on the microphone because I've only heard him say a couple of things, and he was boring to me. So I don't know if they were trying to put stock in him and seeing that, hey, maybe his Olympic background, his wrestling background is going to carry him to superstardom, but I can look at him and tell he was boring. So ultimately, what it boiled down to is nobody really cared. You know what I'm saying? That he was trying to come to WWE wrestling. I'm not sure how much work he actually put into it, but his TV appearances were so sparse that it really didn't give a chance for the WWE crowd to really gauge and interact with who he is as a wrestler or performer or entertainer. And so I think that he was ultimately released because of that. I'm sure he'll do something, but being a WWE superstar, that's not looking like that's in your future. So we wish Gable Stevenson his, I guess, warm wishes. I guess his brother's still in NXT. I like his brother. His brother is really good. And he's in the No Quarter Catch crew as well. So those two were most notable. And also Cameron Grimes. I was so shocked to see Cameron Grimes because I know how hard Cameron Grimes worked for that spot. And when they brought him to SmackDown and they didn't use him at all, I mean, they probably used him maybe 3 times on TV. And usually it was a filler spot. They didn't even play his music. So, Cameron Grimes was one that I was really sad to see because I know how hard Cameron Grimes worked, and I know how good Cameron Grimes actually is. Roosevelt, you know Cameron Grimes, or his Trevor Lee, his real name, man. Can you speak on the release, some of these releases, and can you speak on the release of Cameron Grimes?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, some of it's kind of surprising. Drew Gulak being one of them, and Cameron Grimes, who are two phenomenal performers. I think what's happening right now is that WWE is making so many shifts and changes that I think the character of certain performers is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's more going towards like. Yeah, they have to have a big extravagant character to where someone can say, okay, I can see that in a movie type aspect. I mean, we talk about this all the time, this being a cinema era. And with Cameron Grimes, I don't think his whole to the moon thing and the Milky Way, whatever his gimmick was, just wasn't going to work with this new era of what they have going on, as well as Drew Gulak. He doesn't have, I think he had a Daniel Bryan-esque type of, he didn't have a character to go with it, and I think that's what's happening right now. And definitely they're going to, I mean, Trevor Lee, who is what's his name now, he's already got bookings all over the place. It didn't take long for him to pick up bookings all over North Carolina. So you'll definitely see him out there putting in work. A lot of the legends and some of the vets have reached out to him or reached out on social media after he released that video of him letting the world know that he got released, and they're like, "Yo, you're gonna be all right." Like, and that's one thing that I always tell people, like, man, I know it hurts to get released or to lose a dream career, job, or whatever, but when you make it just something as high as WWE, and you get released, you're going to do one or two things: either go home and sit on the couch, or go out there and bust your ass and make yourself worth 10 times as much as what you were before you got there. So Cameron Grimes is one of those guys that's going to do it. Drew Gulak as well. And like you said, Drew Gulak also trains. So even if he doesn't make it to where, if he doesn't decide to go back and bust his ass to make himself worth more than what he was before, he can do that for his students. He knows what it takes and what they're going to be looking for and what they're going to ask of them. So now he can go back to his students and say, hey, this is what you need to do. If you really want to do it, go do it. If not, whatever. But they're going to be all right.
Yes, Chef. Any of these releases that you were shocked by?
No, I was shocked Gunther wasn't released.
Here we go.
There we go. Let's get it started. Let's get it
Let's
started.
get it
Why?
started. Let's get into
What's
it,
going on
man.
with what's happening? What's wrong?
You know I don't
Well,
do it.
I don't understand the hate that you have for the ring general. About to be king of the ring, Gunther, man. I don't understand this Gunther hate that you have. Is it just to get under LP's skin? That's what I think it is. I think you just want to get. I think you just want to get under LP's skin and just say you don't like Gunther. You know what I'm saying?
But you
I don't
just
understand the
spoke some
Gunther hate.
blasphemy, though. You just spoke some blasphemy. You said
Oh,
Gunther
man.
go to the ring. No. It's gonna be main event Jey Uso.
All right. Well, we're going to get into main event Jey Uso in a minute, but we'll see about that, man. I think that Gunther has all the juice to be able to win this, man, because if they don't put a belt on him, Gunther is going to kind of really be in limbo. And I see Gunther definitely winning this King of the Ring tournament because they're kind of hinting at it that they want Gunther to kind of win this thing. We'll see. But to all the WWE releases, and AEW had a couple of releases as well, y'all will be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Keep the dream alive. Just because you got released doesn't mean that you can't come back, because we've seen all kind of people that got released and then they were able to come back to a bigger promotion. So just keep your head up, keep on pushing, keep on wrestling, doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Just doing your thing. But yeah, I think that some of these releases were definitely a shock. Like I said, seeing Cameron Grimes go, that was definitely a blow to me because I wanted to see more of Cameron Grimes. And then my thing is like, if you want to use him on SmackDown, do like you're doing with every other star right now and go ahead and put him on NXT. We see Natalya on NXT. We see Ivar on NXT. We see the Good Brothers on NXT. We see Meat Chin on NXT. And it's just Shayna Baszler right now had a match yesterday on NXT, and so NXT has a great talent pool that you can, number one, prove yourself, but also get better, man. And if you can go down there as a former star and then still make a name for yourself, like Baron Corbin did when he joined the what were they called? The Wolf Dogs. When he joined the Wolf Dogs, he reinvented his career, man. And I want to see Baron Corbin come up to main roster and do some things because I love him as a heel. But a lot of main roster stars have went down to NXT to just kind of reinvent themselves, trying to find themselves and where they are in the world of wrestling right now on this very, very stacked roster. You know, let's get it. Don't get it twisted. Both Raw and SmackDown have very, very stacked rosters. Even with the secondary and third tier wrestlers, you can still create a top-notch promotion with those stars. One of the people I was sad to see again, I mentioned her on one of the previous shows, but Xia Li. I think they wasted Xia Li. You know what I'm saying? Also, a guy that she was with, I believe his name is Boa from NXT. Him, Xia Li, and another young lady. They had a faction. It was a dark mystic kind of Japanese ninja kind of gimmick. I loved it, everything that they were doing with it, and I'm not sure why they kind of disbanded that. But Xia Li was one of my favorites, and I wanted to see more from Xia Li, or wanted to see them do more with Xia Li. So I was sad to see her go, man. But I mean, on this roster, you have to prove yourself. And let me ask Mr. Everything, Roosevelt. It's gonna be hard for me to break out of that. Have you ever been on a stacked roster, and what's the competition level like when you're on a stacked roster for tonight? What's the mindset going into your match?
I mean, it's not to the extent of how it is like on WWE. You know what I mean? Because on the independents, you got to think about who the favorite is in terms of fans. And so let's put it like this: with WWE, you got a stacked roster of people that travel all over the world, right? And you're in front of the same kind of audience per se. with independents, if I go to this one company, they're used to one style of wrestling. If I go to another company, these fans are used to a different style of wrestling. So it's so many different styles of wrestling, and just in the U.S. by itself, where the fans are like, okay, I don't care about what he's doing. I'm not used to this. I'm used to what they do. You know what I'm saying? And in terms like WWE, it's this one whole conglomerate of, like, you got a whole potluck of wrestling where all the fans will be like, okay, I like this guy because he does this. I like this guy because, but at the same time, they're all going to cheer for everybody because they're used to seeing everybody all the time. So it's different for independents and, you know, some of the big leagues, because if they've never seen you before and they don't know about what your skills are or whatever, they may see a picture of you online. They may see one of your matches online somewhere. If you get announced, and people may go up and say, okay, let me find out who this guy is, because I don't know anything about him. But if you go like WWE, they see you so often, it doesn't matter to them so much what you do, is just how relatable you are to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of different. But like, I've been to some companies where you build up the whole entire company from the ground up, and then you got everybody, and it's always going to be somebody that's going to stand out. And then a lot of guys are like feeling the pressure of saying, okay, well, I got to step up my game, or they feel the pressure so much that they end up leaving. They end up quitting because they're like, I don't want to do more than what I'm capable of doing. There's a lot of guys, they get lazy and they get stagnant. And some of them get so stuck in their ways that they get entitled. They're like, oh, well, why is he always getting this? And why is he's getting these title shots? Why he has the belt so long? Why I haven't got a title opportunity? And it's like, because nobody likes you. Nobody knows you. It's not like you and as a personality. It's nobody likes your character. Nobody likes your wrestling style. You know, we got a guy at one of the companies I'm a champion for, who said, you know, when am I going to get a belt around my waist? And one of the guys was like, that's not how you get a title opportunity around here. And he was like, well, I don't know, because I never had one. Well, you never will get one with that attitude. You know what I mean? Like, you don't
Right.
jump in a chat and be like, yo, I need to get a title shot. No, you don't. Why do you feel you need to get one? What have you done to say that you need to get one? What kind of fan base have you brought in for the people who be like, I love this guy, I love watching him work, and I'm gonna cheer for him every time. It's like when they see you, they're like, okay, here's another match. I'm gonna go grab me a beer.
Yeah. And I think that it can be very challenging for some wrestlers to kind of get over, like, because I know some of them probably feel like that they deserve that spot. You know what I mean? I guess you got to get yourself over. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You really got to get yourself over.
And it's really not that difficult. I mean, because look, I've been doing Victor Andrews for 15 years. I've been doing Mr. Everything for 15 years. I went to the same shows. I've been doing the same character for the longest, and did the Roosevelt character, and it was no confusion for the fans. They were like, okay, well, he got a new name. He's got a new outfit. I still like him. His wrestling is still good. What he does in the ring is still amazing. How he sounds on the mic is still good. So it's not hard to get over. It's just how you go out there and present yourself. It's all about presentation all the time. If you can't go out there and present yourself in the best way to where people will be like, okay, I really want to get behind this guy, then you're not going to get what you think you deserve. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Proof is in the building. 6 titles.
Bobby 6 belts in this bitch. Oh man. Well, listen, fellas, let's go ahead and before we get into Backlash, I think I want to talk about this draft, because that lends to the conversation of being drafted, right? And the feeling of being drafted. Now, I was super excited when they announced the draft. I was excited. I knew that it was going to be new challengers, new matches, all new things for both brands, Raw and SmackDown. After both nights ended, I was sadly disappointed, because I was like, nobody moved. Nobody. There was really no movement. Everybody pretty much, all the big stars stayed on their prospective brands. And I was so upset about that. And I'm like, y'all missed the ball on that. What was the point of getting everybody excited for the draft and you wasn't going to draft no damn body? You know what I'm saying? There was some NXT call-ups that I was excited to see. Ilya Dragunov going to Monday Night Raw, and Ilya Dragunov is the second coming of Gunther. I don't care what nobody say. Ilya Dragunov is a real competitor. I believe Ilya Dragunov, every time he go into the ring, I've never seen Ilya Dragunov do something that was questionable of if it was real or if it felt real or not. Every time that man puts on a performance, I believe him. And it's just like Gunther. Every time Gunther puts on a performance and he chops the life out of somebody, I believe him. You know what I'm saying? So I was excited to see Ilya Dragunov because hopefully either they're going to end up pairing Ilya Dragunov with Imperium because they just kicked Giovanni out of the group. So I think they're going to either put Ilya Dragunov in Imperium or Ilya Dragunov and Gunther will happen at some point in time. And when it does, it will be a slobber knocker of a match. And I'm excited to see it because Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov, number one for the European title, was an absolute banger classic match. You can put that, you can watch tape on that. Mr. Everything, when you have wrestlers come in to train with you and they want to know what's a good match, show them that Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther match and be like, I want you to get close to this as possible.
Exactly.
I want you to get closest to, I want your chops to echo off the walls. I want you to, your blood vessels under your skin to burst and maybe bleed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be winded and knotted up. You know what I'm saying? At the end of that match. That, if you have a chance and you want to see really good wrestling, go back and watch Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther. Chef, I know you hate Gunther's guts, but I don't care. That man put on an absolute banger with Ilya Dragunov. And so Ilya Dragunov and Gunther is probably one of my favorite matches of all time.
Absolutely.
Probably one of my favorite matches of all time. Now, I've seen a lot of wrestling, and I'm not taking nothing against all the old classic wrestlers that I grew up watching. But that match set a new precedence and a new level of physicality, and I loved every minute of it. It felt like strong style. Like, I know it's European strong style, but it felt like Japanese strong style the way they were going at each other. Mm-hmm. And so I want to see that again. They have to put that on the marquee at some point. Give me Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther any day of the week. Gunther and Sheamus just had a knockout, drag-out fight on Monday Night Raw, where Gunther's chest looked like potted meat. It was horrible. Not Gunther, I'm sorry. Sheamus's chest looked like potted meat. It was bad. But I love that style. So Ilya Dragunov to Monday Night Raw is an absolute win in my book. Now, I can't speak on the other ones, but I'm gonna post some of these, and I know I took some pictures of them, so we're gonna see. Braun Breaker, your boy Braun Breaker, to Monday Night Raw. I'm excited about this because Braun Breaker is an absolute stud. He is a star. He is poised. He is ready, and he is foaming at the mouth, and he is ready for some gold and some blood. Fellas, how y'all feel about Braun Breaker coming to Monday Night Raw? Let me go, Chef Showtime.
He is his daddy's son. That's all you gotta say. He is his daddy's son.
Yeah. He definitely a Steiner. For sure. But to be honest with you, I think that Braun Breaker is better than both his uncle and his daddy. In the long run, he will be greater than both of them. Yeah, and I think he is on the trajectory of what Roman Reigns has done, right? Surpassing his father's legacy. I think that he's going to do the same thing that Charlotte Flair has done and surpass her father's legacy. I think he's going to do the same thing that Cody Rhodes has done and surpassed his father's legacy. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Braun Breaker is on that track. He is made of old school cloth. And that boy has one of the most powerful spears in the business. You know what I'm saying? I think once he gets a wise man of his own of some sort, then he will be poised for greatness. But Braun Breaker to Monday Night Raw, I think that is an absolute win. Money all day. every day. We have Randy Orton, who is staying on SmackDown. And Randy Orton on SmackDown, I think, is absolute great. I think SmackDown has a different type of grit that Monday Night Raw doesn't have. And I think that Randy Orton being on SmackDown is great. We also have Nia Jax, who got drafted to SmackDown. And that is a draft change because Nia Jax was on Monday Night Raw. And Nia Jax on SmackDown with Jade Cargill, I think that and Bianca Belair, I think that that's an absolute win because they're going to have some battles. They're going to face each other at some point in time. Your boy Seth freaking Rollins got drafted to Monday Night Raw, and I think Seth Rollins should stay on Raw. Now, if you guys don't remember, Seth Rollins, when he was on Raw, before he got drafted to SmackDown the first time, he had this whole character, the Jesus character. I can't remember what it was called. He had this Jesus character, the Messiah. Seth Rollins was the Messiah. And I don't know if you remember, but he had a small faction where Austin Aries, no, I'm sorry, not Austin Aries, Jesus Christ. What's your boy name?
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory was in this faction with Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins was the Messiah. Then Seth Rollins went to SmackDown, and that's where he developed this whole Seth freaking Rollins character. And then he moved to Monday Night Raw and became, just Ultra Star on Monday Night Raw after that character. But SmackDown helped redefine his career. And so when he went to Monday Night Raw, he became Seth freaking Rollins, and then he eventually got that belt, which he held with prestige for a number of months, man. I got to take my hats off to Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins staying on Monday Night Raw is definitely what is best for business. Go ahead.
I'm reading some of the comments, and somebody said, Jessica don't have one. Jessica don't have one what?
Jessica don't have what? One ball? What?
No, Jessica don't have a belt.
Oh, Jessica don't have a belt. Okay. If I say Jessica got some balls, but Jessica ain't got no belts. So, yeah, Jessica lastly got to get her some gold up in this thing, man. Jessica got to get her some gold in this thing. All right. Man, y'all silly. All right. Also, man, going back to this draft, your boy Carmelo Hayes is on SmackDown. Now, I like Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown. Now, the problem is will Carmelo Hayes find his footing on the SmackDown brand? Because although Carmelo Hayes is a great talent, he's very talented. He can go. He's a great heel. But the problem is that Carmelo Hayes is short. And so he has to prove himself a little bit more, like a Ricochet. Ricochet is an absolute great talent, but the problem with Ricochet is he is not a big guy. But he is a star. He's just not a big guy. You can put belt on him, but can he carry the whole entire company? And I think that's the thing with Carmelo Hayes. Even though he did great at NXT, even though he carried that belt really well, even though he put on some great matches down in NXT and SmackDown are two completely different beasts. And so in order for Carmelo Hayes to break out, he has to have not only some breakout performances, but some breakout rivalries that's going to make people care about Carmelo Hayes. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he needs to carry a company. He's just more so of a division. So just like they did with Austin Theory, they didn't really push Austin Theory towards a big title. They just put him down there to the United States title for a little bit. And he did well with that. I think Carmelo Hayes can do the same thing, either go for the United States title or the Intercontinental title. And let's not forget, we also have the WWE Speed Championship now, which however that long lasts, I hope it lasts for a very long time. But he did have a breakout moment when he did get drafted. You know, that match with him and Cody Rhodes is really good. You can tell that he showcased himself. a lot of guys when they get called up, they don't get a real chance to be able to showcase themselves. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's going to change with Cody Rhodes being the WWE champion, because Cody's going to have a lot more say so of, okay, yeah, let the kid work, let him get busy, let him cook. You know, instead of getting in there and just getting thrown around and having a moment or having some enhancement talent from the outside, somebody from the Indies come in and they run through him. Put him in there with one of the big guys. Same thing they did with Javon Evans down at NXT. They put him in there with Ilya Dragunov. Had a really big breakout moment. How is that going to work in terms of Monday Night Raw? I don't know. Braun Breaker going up against Damian Priest, not going to work right now because Braun Breaker should run through him. Let's be honest. Damian Priest is a hell of a talent, but Braun Breaker should run through him. You can't really feed Braun Breaker can't put Braun Breaker in there with Damian Priest. So I think, yeah, Carmella does have the height issue, but I think after a while that's not going to be an issue. I think the way things are changing.
I think that he has to make himself undeniable.
Yeah.
Right. He has to make himself undeniable. For instance, Jey Uso is absolutely, we're going to talk about Jey a little bit later, but Jey Uso is absolutely undeniable. Management cannot turn a blind eye to what Jey Uso is able to do, what he has done, and how the fans are gravitating towards Jey Uso. Even if you go on the WWE shop right now, which we are affiliates of, when you can click on our affiliate link and you can get some discounts, Jey Uso is on the front page. The first person that you see. That used to be Roman's spot. That used to be Cody's spot. Now it's Jey Uso's spot. And Jey Uso is probably, if not the number one, he's in the top 5 of playable characters that on WWE 2K25 that people love to play with. He's one of the top 5 players under Cody Rhodes. And then it's Jey Uso. I think he's like number 2 on that list. So Carmelo Hayes absolutely has to make himself undeniable. Trick Williams made himself undeniable. And it was because of the fan interaction. It was because of the fans getting behind Trick Willie and yelling, whoop that trick every time he came out. The thing that I think was the final push for Trick Willie was when they had the event in Bakersfield, California for NXT, the live event, premium live event. And Trick Williams came out and he had the fight with Carmelo Hayes. Now, Trick Williams, the fans went crazy for Trick Williams. So management had no choice. Once Ilya Dragunov was drafted, they had no choice but to put the belt on Trick Williams because he was the hottest thing. He made himself undeniable because nobody wanted Trick as the champion. We can see it, but we didn't know if we wanted Trick Williams as a champion. But the fans pushed Trick Willie into that spotlight. Now he has to swim. Now he has to show that he can carry the brand. Now he has to show why he's in that spot. Just getting the belt is one thing, but actually carrying the company and carrying the belt and carrying that prestige is another level. Mr. Everything, and you got 6 belt body. Talk about carrying the prestige of those companies on your back, man, and how challenging that can be for someone who's received gold for the very first time.
Bro, you have no idea. Like, I was the very first champion for SCC. The Sword Championship, that's all the way in Texas. I'm not even there all the time. So it's crazy for these companies to say, hey, I trust you to put a title around your waist and to be the face of my company. It takes a lot. It takes a lot because now you have to present yourself a whole lot differently out there in social media. And you have to walk around like you are the champion. Not a champion, but the champion. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between being a champion and the champion. And I don't care what belt you have in that company, you still have to walk around as if you are the champion. Guys like Seth Rollins did that. He said the world title is going to be the title. Every championship I have right now is the championship, and anybody who wants to come get it, they're gonna have a hard fight on their hands to be able to take them from me, because I am the champion. I am the guy. When I talked to Sir Mo after I won the Sword Championship, I said, thank you for entrusting me to being the champion. He was like, when the moment I met you, I knew you were the guy. I just had to have the right time to do it. So especially for somebody who wins a championship for the very first time, I've seen a lot of guys, they get excited. It's an exciting thing to get a championship. And they go to Walmart with it, they go to Waffle House, they go to school, they in a barber chair getting a haircut, and it is cool. But at the end of the day, what are you doing after that?
Right.
You can go and you can celebrate, you can walk around with it around your waist, but what are you doing after that? Who are you stepping in the ring with? Anybody that steps in the ring with me has to be top tier talent. Can't be nobody that just stepped into the field. You got to be top tier talent, because if you're going to take it off me, you better be Roman Reigns around this motherfucker. I mean, you better be Roman Reigns. You're going to have a real fight on your hands.
Absolutely. So I think that whoever is the champion, you have to have some type of draw to you. You know what I'm saying? You have to have some kind of decorum about you. I'm not saying that Carmelo Hayes will never be champion. I'm not saying that Trick Williams will not translate to main roster and not become champion. But what I am saying is that when you have certain challenges against you, you have to become undeniable. And then they don't have any other choice but to put the belt on you. Let's go and keep it rolling, man, with two more prospects. You got Bianca Belair, who just went to SmackDown. She was already on SmackDown. She's making her home on SmackDown. Bianca Belair is a star. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She will be champion very, very soon. Right now, she is tag team champion with the girl Jade, and we're going to talk about Backlash in a minute. But Bianca Belair is an absolute star. So she should be in the place that she is right now. And then one of the last ones that I have is Jey Uso, who is on the Raw brand. Jey Uso has made himself undeniable. Jey Uso is still an absolute star. And main event, Jey Uso is a real thing, man. So what Roman Reigns had put into play to elevate his family, that whole plan has definitely worked. That whole plan has definitely come into fruition. And Jey Uso will be a champion at some point in time. Fellas, let's go ahead and talk about Backlash, man, because this Backlash event was a great event. Number one, the crowd in France.
Let's talk about the crowd. Okay? Brother.
Listen, I wish that I was a part of that crowd. Like when I go to a wrestling event, I want to have a crowd like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in it and a part of it. They popped for everybody and everything. Everybody and everything. And I think there was only one person that I didn't see a reaction to for the crowd. But everybody else got an absolute amazing reaction from that crowd in France, man. And to be honest with you, my favorite two crowds of all time. Now, Philadelphia, WrestleMania, they had a decent crowd. They had a great crowd. But my two favorite crowds in wrestling to this date is Puerto Rico and this crowd in France. Honorable mention would be what is this? Where they have Clash at the Castle at? Was that Scotland? Was that Scotland?
Yeah, Scotland.
Scotland crowd was great. They had a great crowd. But the crowd in Puerto Rico and this France crowd was another level.
Now, Real quick.
Another level. Like I
Real
don't.
quick. Let's
Go ahead.
let's really dig into that. Okay. Listen to what you just said. Puerto Rico, France, Scotland, United States, step your shit up. Y'all are so spoiled and entitled, but y'all just
Yeah, 100%.
like, come on, bro. Come on. And only realistically, the only city in the United States that really go hard whenever WWE comes to town is Brooklyn.
I would say, I'm about to say New York. Yeah,
Hear
yeah.
kind of ruckus and some kind of excitement from Brooklyn. Okay? Because that's what we do. You know, that's what we do. But that crowd in France, man, listen, I was sitting there watching it. I was like, yo, I don't even know what they're saying. I don't even care. I just love that. I want to feel that as a competitor, that is something that we look forward to all the time. We look forward to the crowd reacting and enjoying themselves, but enjoying themselves in a respectful way to where they're feeding us that energy. And it makes us want to perform a whole lot harder and want to just give them whatever energy you're giving me, I want to give that back to you. You know what I'm saying? Every show I go to, I'm like, yo, whatever you give to me, I want to give it back. Man, listen, if I ever wrestle in France.
Hey, listen, I had no idea that France was that ruckus. I mean, they popped for everybody. Randy Orton, they were singing Randy Orton's song. KO got a great pop. Let's talk about this first match, man. You had the Bloodline with Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga against I can officially call that tag team RKO technically. You know what I'm saying? Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, which I think they make a great team together, and they have very similar mindsets. So I love seeing that element of two natural heels really clicking together and becoming something. But they're baby faces right now, which is weird. But at the same time, man, they have I love the element of Randy Orton and KO together, man. I think that is absolutely amazing. It's almost like having DDP and Steve Austin in a tag team. That's what it feels like to me. You know what I'm saying? If you had to think about moveset, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin had the stunner, DDP had the cutter. It's the same thing with Randy Orton and KO. You know what I'm saying? They're a modern day version of that. But that match started off really rough. Like they started kind of shoot fighting, and all of a sudden, I believe it was Adam Pearce. No, that wasn't Adam Pearce that came out. It was what's the other guy's name? Nick Aldis came out and made it a street fight essentially. And then they proceeded to put on a great performance with the Bloodline and RKO. I mean, they were going back and forth. They were hitting each other with damn near everything. I loved the match. And then at the end of the match, another Bloodline member was introduced. Now, we all were thinking that it was going to be Jacob Fatu. I know I was. I was like, this is when they're going to bring Jacob Fatu out, and he is going to be the new member of the Bloodline. But no, it was not. It was Tongaloa who pulled the referee out. By the way, if you look at the fan videos of that, he was late. I give all credit to the referee, because the referee knew what it was. I ain't never seen the referee flop like that. He was like, 1, 2, yeah. And then Tongaloa came last minute, kind of touched his leg, but the ref definitely was on point with that spot, even though Tongaloa missed that spot, man. But I think that another member to the Bloodline is great. And I think the aesthetic of them three, Tongaloa, Tama Tonga, and Solo Sikoa, that dynamic of that Bloodline looks really good, looks really strong, and looks really menacing. And I'm excited to see what they do together. And I think that Solo Sikoa has to step up his microphone skills. He cannot be afraid to grab that microphone. He cannot be afraid to talk on a microphone. Paul Heyman, he's not using Paul Heyman in the same light that Roman Reigns was using the bloodline for. Was using Paul Heyman for before. So Solo Sikoa is going to have to step into that leadership role with the new bloodline members. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to see what they do with that. And the bloodline storyline is not over. We still got more to this story, man. And I love how it is unfolding. But that first match between the bloodline and Randy Orton and KO was a great. First of all, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself. We got to go to school to rate these things, man, because we do this each and every main event. But we have to go to school and rate this year's Backlash.
Excuse me, class. Class. Shut up!
Wow!
All right. Chef Showtime. I know I jumped the gun a little bit, but what would you rate overall this year's Backlash? A through F.
A B.
A B? Okay.
Yeah.
That's mighty generous for Chef. You know, Chef don't like nothing. So a B from Chef. A B from Chef is absolutely great. Mr. Roosevelt, what would you rate this year's Backlash?
I give it an A.
A. Woo!
I give it an A.
Okay, all right.
I mean, because, like I said, the energy from the crowd, it was given to the performers, made the performers give it right back. So I give it an A, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I would have to give that event an A too, man. That crowd is what made the entire event for me. I absolutely love that crowd and everything that they brought. And the crowd essentially was the sixth man in the ring. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Jeff?
If you take away the crowd, what grade would you give it?
A.
No.
If I took away the crowd, you got a point. If you take away the crowd, I would give it maybe a B minus.
Why is that?
Because the crowd
because of the many botches throughout the event, and that crowd element is what elevated those matches. You got to be 100% with it. There was some periods of time where it felt like a regular Monday Night Raw SmackDown, but the crowd is what elevated everything for me.
Well, here's my question for you guys, really quick. If every match that you watch is spot on perfect from beginning to end, wouldn't it get boring for you after a while?
No, but it's not.
No.
You know, it's not supposed to be bing, 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 bing. Like it's not going to be that way. You know, it's legit like a fight. So you're gonna have mistakes here and there. You know, and you got to think about environment. You got to think about the ropes getting sweaty and wet. You got to think about.
I didn't care about those sweaty ropes. I was looking at the elbow roll wrestling of it.
Because, to be honest, without the crowd, it would have been a Raw. Because it was the same stuff with Damon Priest and Jey Uso. You already knew what was going to happen. Somebody going to come out, interrupt the match. Same stuff, over and over.
I think I would say it felt really familiar, and that's why I say it would have been a regular Raw SmackDown. A lot of the things felt really familiar.
I understand.
But the crowd is what elevated it to an A. And I think that a lot of critics around the board would say the same thing. The matches were they were good, some were okay, but just in general, just the crowd is what brought it to another level. So I love the Bloodline versus the RKO match. I thought that match was really good, man. I would definitely give that match a B+. Let's go ahead to Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton is an absolute star in the making. I love Tiffany Stratton, what she's bringing to the game. She has that natural heel where everybody loves to hate her, and she will have a belt very soon. And I think that she will be able to carry it really well. Naomi, also, I'm a huge Naomi fan. I think Naomi definitely has some shine in the intro. They gave her love during her intro as well, and I think she did really well in the match. And then Bailey has been doing Bailey things since Bailey been Baileying. So I think that Bailey showing her wisdom and being able to lead them three in a great match. I thought that that was absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if they had a time cut or something. The match felt a little rushed to me. But maybe that's just me. I don't know if they had their time cut or not. It felt like it, but for the time that they had and the things that they were able to do during that match, I thought it was a great match. What did you guys think about the Bailey versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton match? Let me go, Chef Showtime.
Hey, could you rewind real fast? Back to the bloodline?
Yeah, go ahead. Go back to the bloodline.
I think they about to change their name. The brothers crew. Remember G.O.D., the Girls of Destiny? They're going to change it back to that. Because that's what I'm looking at right now. They're going to kick Roman out.
Well, I mean, you can have we know gang culture, right? So you can have factions of gangs within a gang. You know what I'm saying? You can have a different sets within the gang. So I can they still bloodline because they all family or related or somebody knows somebody cousin or something like that. They all kind of in that bloodline, even if they're not direct descendants, they still have that Tongan Samoan blood in them, which they can pretty much dictate who is going to be in the bloodline just based off of that fact. They don't have to be directly related. But just in general, man, they don't have to. They probably would very well might change the name and might do something different, but they're still going to be the bloodline at some capacity. But let's go back to Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Bailey. What did you think about that match, Jeff?
That match was horrible to me. I didn't like it at all.
What?
I didn't like it.
Horrible is a strong word, Jeff.
I'd rather watch Bailey versus Naomi. Tiffany Stratton was not that person to be in the middle of the match. I could have seen somebody else, you know. I would have took Natalya over Tiffany Stratton.
That's a stretch.
I'd rather see Natalya peel herself in the ring than watch Tiffany Stratton. I mean, no.
Man, I don't know what this Tiffany hate is, man, but Tiffany Stratton is going to be a star. She is the second coming of Charlotte Flair. Once she gets her footing and the fans kind of gravitate towards it, you'll see. I ain't got to talk much. I'm just proving because, you know, they're going to put the strap on her, bro. They're going to put the strap on her. But the thing is, the SmackDown women's roster is so stacked that it's going to be very hard for her to climb that with Bianca and Nia Jax and Jade and all of these people. And then when the Queen come back, you already know that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? When the Queen Charlotte Flair come back, they're going to have to put them against each other in some type of capacity. But you said the match was okay. You didn't like Tiffany Stratton in that spot. I get it. I get it. I guess maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Roosevelt, what did you think about that women's match, championship match with Bailey, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton?
I'm with him.
You agree with Chef on that one?
I'm with him. Tiffany Stratton, that was not her spot, bro. That was not her spot. Nuh-uh.
Why do you feel like that wasn't her spot?
I don't think she's ready for that level. I don't think she's ready for that level of crowd reaction. I think the crowd got to her, and she looked like she was very dependent on the other two ladies to bring her up.
Yes.
You step in a ring with someone of the caliber of Naomi and Bailey, you have to step yourself up. You can't depend on them to step you up. You have to do that on your own, so that way you can stand out on your own. She didn't stand out. She just mixed in with them, only because they had her in the match with her. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah.
she really had to step herself up to be able to say, yo, I belong on the same platform as these two ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Hmm.
it just, she was lackluster in that match.
Yeah, I would have. Zoe Stark would have been better because she has that
I wouldn't
fight.
see one. No.
Zoe Stark?
Yeah. Man, y'all hating on Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark is a star, man. I don't
She
know
is,
what.
but it depends on who she's in the ring with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
She can't reach her stardom with Naomi and Bailey. She was barely doing it with Ronda and Shayna Baszler. You know, she just kind of looked like she's blending in with them. She's not standing out. You know what I'm saying? She's not standing out above them. If you're gonna step in a ring with somebody, if I step in a ring with Roman Reigns, I'm gonna stand out. I'm not gonna blend in and say for the fans, be like, it was a good match because Roman Reigns made it a good match. I want them to say it was a good match because Roosevelt stood toe to toe with freaking Roman Reigns, and they went out there and had a banger. Like Carmelo. Carmelo didn't go out there and have a match and blend in with Cody Rhodes. Carmelo stood out against Cody Rhodes.
Well, with that being said, if you really believe that, then why is nobody talking about that match?
No idea.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember watching the match. So I'm trying to go on my memory base to see if I remember it. I know that somebody, I'm pretty sure it was a great match because Carmelo Hayes is a great talent. And Cody Rhodes is
because of Backlash. I want to say it's because of Backlash.
You can want to say it all you want to, but I remember certain matches that I've seen before Backlash. You know what I'm saying? That were really good that I can remember. I don't remember that. I don't remember much from that match. You know what I'm saying? So
I remember the missed spot that they attempted to do. The Cody Rhodes was blew his
hold on. How you gonna criticize us for talking about botches and mixed spots, and then you gonna talk about I remember that mixed spot?
I didn't say botch. I said they missed the spot. Okay, that's all I said.
Okay, all right.
It was going for a very unique spot, and they missed it because Cody overshot Carmelo on that one. You know, so
okay. All right. I hear what you're saying.
All of a sudden.
All of a sudden. All right. Well, let's talk about my favorite match on the card from the entrances to the ending. Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. First of all, Jey Uso has now my number one spot for the greatest entrance of all time. It ain't even close. I've been watching wrestling since the 80s, and I've even gone back to the 70s and 60s to watch some of the matches. I've never seen a reaction, a reception, and just interaction with the fans like I saw with Jey Uso. The Fireflies came back. The stadium was dark. Jey Uso had everybody in there singing his song. He had everybody rocking with him. He had everybody doing up, down hands. Jey Uso has the greatest entrance of all time. And I challenge anybody to show me another entrance that was even close. And before Jey Uso, to be honest with you, a non-wrestler had that spot for one of the greatest entrances of all time, and that was Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, because he had a similar crowd to the one that was in France, Lyon, France. But this France crowd elevated Jey Uso. And we talked about being undeniable. This France crowd made Jey Uso undeniable. Upper management has no choice but to look at Jey Uso as an absolute star after this. Even Triple H said, who has been wrestling for years and runs the WWE. Even Triple H said, Jey Uso, I've never seen an entrance like that.
Hey, I gotta take it from you from that one. One of the best is from Triple H when DX came out in that tank. And the whole crowd rumbled.
Daniel Bryan.
Yes,
nah, bro. It ain't no. You put Jay Uso's entrance and Daniel Bryan's entrance side by side, and Jay Uso entrance blow that shit away.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And I was a fan of the Yes Movement. Yes. But man, everybody yeeting all over themselves for Jay Uso.
Bray Wyatt. What about Bray Wyatt?
True story. I do give you that one.
Jay Uso has the greatest entrance of all time. I don't know how many times I got to say this shit. He has the greatest entrance of all time. Now, mind you, we went absolutely batshit for Bray Wyatt during his entrance. I loved everything about Bray Wyatt's entrances ever since he was Husky Harris. I loved everything about Bray Wyatt. I love the Fireflies. I love the feeling that it gave. But that Jay Uso entrance is hype. It gets me hype every time I watch it. And Jay pulled out his inner black man and was pop locking and dropping and rocking and leaning. Jay Uso has the greatest entrance of all time, man. And this is going to be hard pressed for anybody to prove me otherwise. It's gonna be hard pressed for anybody to Chef, you just mentioned Triple H has some of the hardest entrances of any wrestler, period. And Jay Uso's entrance topped that. I'm sorry. It ain't even close. Cody's entrance was good. Damian Priest had a great entrance himself. But that Jay Uso entrance is my favorite of all time. I don't care. Argue with your mama. That entrance was fire, bro. Was fire. And I guarantee if you watch it right, and if you go back and watch it right now, you can be like, yeah, it's different. It's different. But that match, even during the match, the crowd was so into Jay Uso and what he was doing that every punch was a yeet, every kick was a yeet, every push was a yeet, every yeet was a yeet. I yeeted all over myself multiple times.
No,
my wife had to clean me up. No. I'm just saying, it was great. It was great. Jay Uso put on an absolute performance. And Damian Priest has now been in two of my favorite entrances, which was the Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico and the Jay Uso in France. And so I got to give Damian Priest for number one, stepping up and becoming that bad guy heel figure that elevates the baby face like a Bad Bunny and like a Jay Uso. And he played his part really well. Even when Judgment Day came and interrupted the match, Damian Priest was like, I want to do it myself. And he was pushing his homies. No, he pushed the hell out of JD Madonna. Do you not really like JD Madonna in real life? I don't understand. And then he pushed and mushed and grabbed Finn Balor's face. First of all, I don't care if you my homie or not. If you come up to me and grab my face, we fight. Straight up. Nobody come and grab your mouth like this. And I don't want you to interrupt. Get your goddamn hands off me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. I don't know where that's going. I definitely see Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest at some point. I know it's going to happen. I think that the Judgment Day is going to end up turning on Damian Priest because this is the thing. Damian Priest is not a leader. I'm going to say that again. Damian Priest is not a leader. He does not have leadership qualities. If you want to call him a boss of some sort, a manager of some sort, maybe. But he is not a leader. Rhea Ripley is 100% the leader of the Judgment Day because she is political. She can pull the trigger when the trigger needs to be pulled. She can elevate everybody around her. Damian Priest seems like he's pulling everybody down. I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. He is not a leader. I don't see him being the leader of Judgment Day too much long. Either he's going to separate himself or they're going to end up kicking him out of the group. But anyway, Jey Uso versus Damian Priest was an absolute banger. Roosevelt, what'd you think about that match?
Yeah, I loved it. They went out there and got busy. Damian Priest definitely showcased his ability a little bit higher than what he used to do. But you have to when you step in the ring with Jey Uso. Jay, he gets in there, he gets busy anyway. So yeah, I loved it.
Okay. Absolutely. Chef, what'd you think about that, man?
It was a great match. The entrance was the bee's nest, just like at WrestleMania when Lil Wayne came out with him. Everybody was eating,
Yeah.
You can't say much about it.
That little Wayne intro at WrestleMania for Jey Uso was bullshit. I'm sorry to say that was hard, but I wish he wouldn't have done it. It would have made it so much better. But yeah.
Nah, I think it was just the presence. Like, name what. There's a lot of people that love Lil Wayne. That just gave him a bigger fan base. Lil Wayne supporting you makes you look even better. Just like how they brought in, what's his name? Logan Paul. Nobody like Logan Paul, but his name brings fans.
Yeah. I can agree with you on this, Chef. Well, look, we have to say farewell to the one and only Roosevelt. Roosevelt, real quick, man. What you got going on, and where can the people find you?
Yeah, man. I mean, you already know I'm always wrestling. I mean, all those belts over there, so I'm always wrestling every week. But right now, what I have going on is I am in running for the 2024 Mr. Health and Fitness. So if you guys want to support me in that, just go to the website. The link is on the Best Damn Wrestling podcast and also on my Facebook, Roosevelt Andrew Conyers. And you can do free votes every day. Right now, I'm in 5th place for my group. So if you guys can keep me in the top 5 for the next 8 days, I'll move on to the next level. I'm trying to become number 1 of the entire thing. Last year, I made it up to the last 10. I made it up to the final 10. And this year, I'm trying to be number 1. So if you guys can support me on that, you can vote for free every day. But if you want to really elevate your boy and throw some money in there, the money is going to a really good cause. They're raising money for a children's program to help with, I believe it's cancer that they're trying to raise some money for, children's cancer. So you can throw some money on there and it'll give me more votes based on the dollar amount that you put up there. So getting ready for that. Getting ready for Germany in June. So I'm looking for some sponsors to be able to help me be able to get out there and put booster faces in Frankfurt, Germany, as part of the OIWA tour. July, I'm going to the UK. And I have finally finalized that deal with Canada with Torture Chamber Pro. So I will be going out there September 29th. My WrestleVersary. It would be my 15th year in professional wrestling on September 29th, and I will be celebrating that in Montreal, Canada. So I'm excited about that, and man, it's this year is international travel. That's all it's all about right now with wrestling.
Absolutely. Mr. Everything, we also have something very exciting coming up. And we're still ironing out the details, but I just want you to give a brief summary or synopsis of what we're planning for the beautiful people.
Oh man, which part are we talking about? We're talking about the big thing or the stream? Which one?
The stream. The stream. Yeah, we're going to talk about the stream. Yeah.
So with the stream, we're going to bring you guys another showcase. Kind of quite like what we did with the 1 hour Iron Man match between myself and Sean Cruz. We're putting together a tournament. It's going to be called Hyperdrive. And more details will come to you guys very soon. The very first stream is going to be June 9th. And you're going to watch the stream right here on the Best Damn Wrestling podcast. And then the following bracket of the tournament is going to be a tournament. It's going to be June 16th. And then I'm also working out the details for the dates for the semifinals and the finals to crown a very first hyperdrive champion. And that is going to lead to some really, really big things that we are working on. Man, listen, when we say we stepped outside, y'all gonna see we stepped outside. I mean,
Big step with big shoes.
Listen, I gotta take a second and then I gotta go. There's a lot of things I've thought about with my career and things that I wanted to do. And honestly, I've been working since I was 9 years old. And to have someone like Brian and Chef and LP, wherever he is out in the world, have these brothers stand next to you, stand behind you, and support you, and to say, yo, we believe in you, and have someone like Brian to work as hard as he does to not only make this platform happen, but to make the big things that we got coming up come together is an amazing thing. I'm excited. I know all of you are going to be excited. It's going to be, man, it's going to be groundbreaking. I've talked to a couple of guys about it, and they're like, yo, if you do that, I said, no, it's not if, it's when. When we do this, it's going to raise a lot of eyes and a lot of eyebrows, and it's going to open a lot of pockets and mostly fill ours. So, and not only fill our pockets, but it's going to bring back to the community, and it's going to rebuild a lot of towns, neighborhoods, cities, and then once we get our footing really good, we're going to start rebuilding states. And also, if you guys want to go and check me out on TikTok, official_Mr. Everything. I am running for president of the United States. A lot of people think that these videos are just jokes, but I'm dead serious. I'm so
you're gonna be on the ballot next to Joe Biden and Trump?
Listen,
if somebody
is willing to write my name on the ballot, I am going hard. I am going to keep posting videos until someone takes it serious and like, yo, what are you really doing? I'm really trying to compete against these guys. So check out the videos I've been posting in terms of the presidential election for 2024. And if it doesn't happen in 2024, there's always 2028.
There you go.
Let's see what we can do with this thing. Let's take over everything. And let's make it happen, man. We're all about exact change. That's it. That's the motto for right now. Exact change. There's no more give you a little bit and you got to give me some back. No, I'm giving you exact change. That's what we're doing right here. That's my motivational word of the day too. It's no more just giving some to receive some back. I'm giving you exact change.
I like that. That's a final word from the one and only Roosevelt. Oh man. We'll see you on the flip side, and I'll chat with you offline. But Godspeed, my brother.
Gotta be safe. Hey, Chef Time, you a hater?
No. Oh, Jessica.
What Dave Chappelle say? Oh, hate. That's what that is. Oh man, Chef, we got 2 more matches to talk about. We had the Kabuki Warriors versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Man, I know a lot of fans wanted to see that, and I knew that it was going to happen sooner than later. As soon as they paired them up, what did you think about the Kabuki Warriors versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair?
Well, that match was Botch-O-Mania.
Not Botch-O-Mania. Yeah, man, it was a lot of botches within that match, and I know Mr. Everything doesn't like, or Roosevelt doesn't like us to say the B word, botch, but yeah, it was some botches in there. I think that Jade, I think that she was lost a lot during that match. She was trying to find her footing, and I think that maybe she forgot half of the match and had to rely on the other women. So you can visibly see her communicating and asking, "Hey, what do we do now? All right, you want me to throw you? Okay, I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna try to kick you, and maybe we'll figure this out. Let's just do it." I remember one time I was in a play. I was in Schoolhouse Rock, I was the only black dude on the whole roster of the cast. And then I had a very important line to deliver that was going into another song. I don't know if you remember Schoolhouse Rock. They had this song, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. So I was going into that, but I completely forgot all of my lines. So everybody around me kind of had to help me remember what my lines were. And that's what it felt like for Jade Cargill. I think that she forgot and just had a lapsing moment where she forgot some of the spots, and everybody in that match was trying to help Jade Cargill keep up the speed. But I think she made up for it at the end of that match where she hit Jaded Man, and she picked Kairi Sane up, and I think she did a Samoan and did flipped her around into like a what do you call it, like an elevator drop or something like that, and then put her into Jaded and then hit the Jaded on her. That was beautiful. So she made up for all that mess that she had earlier in the match. And then Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are now your new women's champions, and they look like absolute studs. I think that pairing Jade with Bianca is good because Bianca has that experience of being a champion and being in these top matches and being in that number one spot. And I think that she can guide Jade Cargill along the way, just like kind of like Evolution when you had Ric Flair and Triple H, and they were guiding a young Randy Orton and Batista. It has that same feel. So I think that Bianca can help guide Jade in a way that nobody else can, because Bianca is one of one. And so now you have a powerhouse team like Jade Cargill and Bianca, and aesthetically they look good together. They look like money. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited what they do. I know that Jade is going to kind of fill out and start to blossom. But I think that once she gets the cobwebs out a little bit, I think Jade Cargill will be fine. But I love this team of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Aesthetically, Chef, do you like the team?
Oh, yes. I love the team.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Abs and ass, man. That's what they got. Abs and ass. I love them together. They're great, powerful representation of black women, black strong women, black strong married women. Shout out to their husbands too. I know I made a derogatory comment, but it was a compliment. Just in general, like they look great together. They represent two black married women, and they're really redefining what that looks like on an entertainment level. You know what I'm saying? And I absolutely love how they put them together. So we'll see what they do in the future. The Kabuki Warriors are great for what they've been able to do, and I think that they'll still do some great things together in Damage Control. I know Missing Daily Damage Control is still kind of trying to find their footing, but I think they'll still be on top because I love that faction. But Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are now your women's champions. And going into the last match of the night was probably it was one of my favorite matches on the card, just because I knew the fact was going to be good. AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. Crowd went crazy for Cody, but the crowd went absolutely insane for AJ Styles, and I believe because AJ has the phenomenal moniker, and I think the France fans were pulling from a French song, and so they, in a way, they were saying phenomenal, 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 la da da da. La, da, 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 da. And the entire crowd was rocking, and AJ Styles didn't know what the hell to do. Like, he's a bad guy, and he was trying not to react to what the fans were doing. But you can see that he was like, man, this is crazy. It was insane. I absolutely love the match between AJ and Cody. AJ Styles was a great first match for Cody's title defense. And you know what I'm saying? Even though I wanted to see AJ pull that out. But I'm gonna be very transparent, and I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. I'm gonna get close to the camera because I got to say this to everybody. I miss Roman Reigns. I said it. 2 tears in the bucket. What you gonna do about it? I miss your tribal chief. I miss the one and only Roman Reigns. I miss the big dog because when the big dog was there, it was some type of aura. It was this mystical power that kept your eyes on the product. And even though Roman had a very slow, methodical wrestling pace and story-driven wrestling pace, Roman Reigns brought excitement to the belt for me. And now that Cody has the belt, it feels like I'm eating a mayonnaise sandwich. And I just had a whole buffet with Roman Reigns, and it feels like with Cody having the belt, it feels like I'm eating a mayonnaise and ham sandwich. I'm trying to get used to it. It ain't the same flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like Roman Reigns is like top shit. What's like a T-bone steak with like rosemary and butter on that bitch and some mashed potatoes. And Cody is a cold ass ham sandwich with mayonnaise. That's what this feels like. Is that a good food analogy, Chef? What do you think, man? How do you feel about Cody Rhodes? How do you feel about Cody Rhodes having this belt, man? Are you excited to see Cody when he comes out and he's champion?
I'm excited for his entrance. His entrance is awesome. You know?
Okay.
I'm excited to see the Cody Cutter. You know?
Okay.
I'm excited to see the Crossroads. But that's it.
I'm just saying, man, in the pantheons of food, if Cody Rhodes as a food was a champion, he would be a cold ass ham and mayonnaise sandwich, bro. I'm sorry, on white bread. I ain't even talking about the good. I'm talking about on the value bread. The one that when you put like peanut butter or something on, it just tear up the bread. That's the kind of bread they Cody. I don't know. I miss Roman Reigns. Sorry, but not sorry. I think that I miss his presence being there. And even though the shows are still doing good, and even though Cody is still helping to sell out some of these arenas that they're going into, it's still an element of mystery that we're missing with Roman Reigns missing. Now, Cody Rhodes is a great champion. I want to see him do more. I want to see what storylines Cody can get into. And I want to see if he can draw us in the same way that Roman Reigns was able to draw us in, the same way that Seth freaking Rollins was able to draw us in. Cody Rhodes needs to be more to his interest. And although his matches are good, although Cody can really go, although Cody has the emotion and the energy to draw us in there, I'm not feeling it. And I want to feel it, and I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I would rather have had the Jey Uso versus Damian Priest be the last match on the card, because that match was, the crowd was into. And not to say that Cody's match wasn't good, and that Cody's fans didn't love and chant his name, but it wasn't the same energy. It wasn't in the same realm. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. That's my old lady right there. Cody is nothing but a crybaby. Baby, I got to agree with you on that. You know what I'm saying? When my wife is saying that Cody ain't nothing but a cry, only thing that Cody do is cry. Every time you see Cody, he always crying. I'm sorry. Every time they ask him a question about his daddy, I'm sorry. Hold on, yeah, my daddy was great. All right, let's get over your dad. Like, for real, you are at a threshold now where you have surpassed everything that your daddy has done except be an enigma of a figure, right? Like Dusty Rhodes is is an absolute legend. I mean, it's you're not going. I mean, even though I love Charlotte, Ric Flair is still the man. You know what I'm saying? I think that Cody Rhodes' father, Dusty Rhodes, was that person that a lot of black people at that time gravitated towards because he spoke the same language. You know what I'm saying? And he dressed the part, and you know he was cool with a bunch of brothers. So a lot of black folks or brothers at the time was looking at Dustin Rhodes like he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was blonde hair and big, and you know didn't have the prettiest face, his aura is what drove the fans to Dusty Rhodes. And I think that Cody can have that, but he doesn't. I don't know. He just needs something. Maybe they need to bring his wife out sometimes and just add. I don't know. He needs some pepper, some black pepper, or some paprika or something. he needs some garlic on that. I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes is a stale ass cold ham sandwich with mayonnaise, and he needs some pickles or something on that to kind of spice it up a little bit. But already, I think the fans are starting to get bored of Cody as a champion. If they don't do something soon, he will start to lose the interest of people. Not to say that people still won't go see Cody. I'm just saying that you're not going to pull the same amount of viewers as Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns was a champion. When The Rock was there, The Rock made so much of an impact within 4 to 5 weeks. It was insane. Chef, you was there when Rock came to Phoenix and he called everybody crackheads. Crackheads and dirty prostitutes, and that. You was there.
Yeah.
I started to go, but I was like, I would have felt some kind of way if my hero, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, would have called me a crackhead when I was in the stands. I would have felt some kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
It was funny. It was funny as hell.
I know it was funny, but I would have felt like, why you got to talk about us like that, great one? You know what I'm saying? I would have felt some kind of way about it.
Hey, but the craziest thing about it, that show was so loud. They had to stop the show a couple times to have people quiet down.
But that's the type of crowd that you want, especially here in America. That's the type of crowd that you want. You want that type of crowd to be able to elevate your product like that. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson within 6 weeks has done something that no other wrestler has done, and that's changed the game. Within the short amount of time that he was there, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson changed the whole aura of WWE and ushered it into a new millennium, a new era. And I know a lot of people saying that it feels Attitude Era-ish, but I think this is a new era and a new time with a new fan base. And to be honest with you, the amount of celebrities and people that watch wrestling now, like, you know, when you was a wrestling fan, you couldn't really tell nobody you was a wrestling. As a grown man, it's hard to tell people that you were a wrestling fan and them not to look at you like you're crazy. But now wrestling is becoming cool again in certain circles. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson brought a different energy and aura to wrestling and to the WWE product. I think what I want to happen is I think that I want Cody to elevate above all the hype that Cody Rhodes is. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to see more from Cody, and I think that this match with AJ helped pull something out of Cody Rhodes, but now Cody needs some really good dance partners on SmackDown, and I know he mentioned LA Knight as one of them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I like LA Knight. I was a LA Knight fan when he first started, and then I started seeing him wrestle. I was like, I don't know if he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't quite all the way feel like LA Knight is that guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Best Damn Nation, if you feel like I'm just being the bad guy today, then let me know. Are you feeling LA Knight? Are you feeling this title reign with Cody Rhodes? Let us know in the comment box, and we'll read your comments on the next show, man. But I'm just being honest. I want to see more from Cody. I think that Cody had a great show, and I think AJ Styles had a great show, and I think everybody that was on that card, I think they did great. I know Jade did a great job for one of her favorite shows, although she had, that box, but she made up for it in the end. Overall, I thought the whole Backlash event was a really good event. I can't wait to see what happens next. Chef Showtime.
What?
Let the beautiful people know what you got going on, man, and where can they find you?
Right now, nothing's going on. It's working, taking care of kids. They can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitch at Showtime83. You can find me on... Yeah. That's what you can find me on right now. But nothing else, nothing spectacular.
Yeah. All right. Chef Showtime, we do this each and every week, man, and the boy Roosevelt already gave us one of his. To everybody new that's watching the show, we always like to give a little piece of motivation, a little piece of knowledge, quote, something that helps you get through your week, something that makes things a little bit easier for you. Chef Showtime, do you have a final word for your beautiful subjects?
I have a final word from John Cena, the GOAT. Nobody remembers second place.
That is a good one. Nobody remembers second place. So you got to make sure that you position yourself and put yourself in a light where you can become first place or become a champion, because champions are remembered forever and nobody remembers second place. That is a final word from your boy, the one and only Senor Fuego himself, Chef Showtime. Oh man. Chef, I think my final word would be I'm gonna go into a little story. I think that we as people value other people's opinion, right? Even if you say you don't, you do value people's opinion. My goal in life is to have people say great things about me, even when I'm not in the room, even when I'm not around. I want people to have the same impression when they meet me and when they talk to other people. I want them to have the same conviction that I am the person that I present myself to. You know what I'm saying? So my final word would be present yourself in a positive, good light, so that when you leave a lasting impression on the people that you came in contact with, and they elevate your name even when you're not in the room. I don't think there's much to be said after that. You want to elevate yourself so that whenever you come in contact with people say the same thing about you. Now, if everybody calling you a butthole and they saying you a jerk, maybe it's some things within yourself that you need to look at. Maybe it's some things within yourself that you need to change. Maybe it's your attitude, maybe it's your approach, but you want people, whenever you leave out of the room, say positive things about you, the same things that they would say to you if they were in your face. So I want to leave a lasting impression on people, and that lasting impression is I'm exactly who I present myself as. And if I present myself as a good, trustworthy, honest, hardworking guy, then I want people to say that about me when I leave the room. I want my work and my interactions with people to reflect that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. If you don't care what people say, it don't matter. But we all, at some point, some capacity, care what people say about us to other people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what leaves that lasting impression. And you want to be who you say you are. When people walk out the room, you want them to say who you are because you presented yourself as such.
Okay.
That is my final word for the beautiful people. That was a little complex. I had to dig for that one. had to dig a little bit deeper. Dig a little deeper.
That little ear part made to remind me of Mohana. I was like, oh shit. I was about to get teary out there. I was like, oh shit, you're gonna make me cry.
Oh man. Wipe them tears, Jack. Oh man. Listen. Oh man. Beautiful people, we can't hold you no longer. If you want to follow the show, we have all kind of platforms that you can join us on and watch us in your leisure. So if you want to check out the show, we have all kind of platforms. You can check us out on Instagram at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. You can check us out on our Facebook group, the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. You can check us out on our Facebook page, the BD Wrestling Podcast. You can check us out on our X or Twitter, as it was formerly called, at Best Damn Crew. You can go over to our Twitch and check us out at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. We even have a TikTok, and you can visit our TikTok at Best Damn Wrestling Crew. And you can go over to our damn store and get you a damn shirt. We got all kind of damn goodies, all kind of hats, mugs, shirts, socks. Anything that you want, you can go over to the Best Damn Wrestling store and you can get you some merchandise. So go over to our damn store and get you a damn shirt. Damn it. All right, let me put my nice foot. Back on. Oh, man. Listen, we love y'all like play cousins. You can check us out on wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Google Podcasts. You can even say, Alexa, play the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, and she will play your boys each and every Wednesday or whenever you want to listen to us in your leisure. Chef Showtime, you are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Thank you for joining us. Beautiful people, we love y'all, and we can't hold you no longer. We will see you next time on the next Best
Damn
Wrestling Podcast. Oh man, we love y'all. We will see you next week. Beautiful people, we bid you